Throughout history, female athletes have been marginalized and have received great amounts of unwarranted sexualization. It was not until the beginning of the 20th century that efforts were made towards the feminist movement to improve female athletes' status and the conditions in which they were treated. In 1972, Title X was passed and declared that no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. However, today, women still endure enormous amounts of sexualization through the media. Female athletes are not granted the same luxury that men are of being primarily portrayed as performance athletes. Coverage of their beauty and sex appeal overshadows highlights of their earned athleticism. An example of sexualization that occurred in the 2012 Summer Olympics held in London caused a blow-up on several social media platforms. Due to low temperatures, female beach volleyball players were permitted to wear long sleeves and long pants to stay warm. Viewers enraged and suggested that there was no longer a point to watch the women's event now that the athletes' bodies were covered up. Since successful female athletes inherently express strength and hard work, which are typically seen as masculine traits, they are often stereotyped as masculine or homosexual and are deterred from participating in sports. Besides minimizing females' participation in athletics, the media's sexualization reduces their self-esteem and identity by dehumanizing and pressuring them into an unhealthy obsession with body image. Female athletes feel pressured by society to assert their femininity by embracing the media's sexualization to emphasize their femininity and gain publicity and money. Depicting female athletes in suggestive poses and clothing, or even in the nude, media projects a woman-first, athlete-second attitude that challenges athletes' achievements and self-esteem. For example, the only way women get exclusively showcased in Sports Illustrated magazines is in the annual swimsuit edition for their ability to look amazing in a bikini, rather than for their accomplishments as an athlete. Yet female athletes who oppose sexualization are confronted with criticism from society and their peers. They lose support, money, and camaraderie, leaving them no choice but to comply with the media's actions. Because sex appeal holds such a substantial influence in today's society, female athletes who challenge the media's sexualization only alienate themselves. Serena Williams, an example of a female athlete who challenges the media's sexualization, is the holder of 22 Grand Slam titles. She is the most dominating player in tennis, male or female, and greatest American athlete of this generation. However, Williams is seemingly underrated and receives minimal media coverage, displaying her phenomenal athletic ability. She also makes way less than athletes that are nowhere near as successful as her. Compared to the mediocrity of Anna Kournikova, who was celebrated for years extensively more than Williams ever was, yet has never won a major. Anna Kournikova was made to be one of the best-known tennis players, not due to her athletic ability, but due to her white, blonde, and thin appearance. Another female tennis athlete that earned significantly more than Williams is Maria Sharapova, and it is because of her willowy white and blonde features, while Williams is a black woman with prominent athletic muscles. A New Yorker article commented on the reason sports fans don't love Williams as much as they should. It says, "Part of this is owing to the dualisms of American prejudice, sexism, and racism, which manifest every time viewers, mostly men, are moved to remark on Williams' body in a way that reveals what might not most charitably be called discomfort. Female athletes are continuously subjected to sexualization, and the only way to overcome this stigma is to resolve the way in which the media, and therefore society, defines and treats women."
I was body shamed in high school. I was teased for looking like a boy. I've always had an athletic build. I embrace who I am, and I'm not ashamed of being all woman, but being strong and being a figure of strength. I think it's important that women know who they are and aren't afraid to stand up for that.
I feel like women are very underestimated athletically, being that I'm Latina. You know, you're supposed to have the big hips and the curves. Women come in different shapes and forms, and we're all beautiful, and I'm beautiful. There's nothing I'm not able to do.
I've always had an athletic build, so sometimes I didn't fill out tank tops the right way, or I couldn't wear certain outfits because my calves were bigger or my body was more athletic than your typical female with, you know, big chest and a giant butt and skinny legs. We're living in such an influential world nowadays that strong is now beautiful, and strength is confidence, and strength is showing that you care about yourself.
Are there any parts of my body that I'm particularly insecure about? Yes, women especially, we have insecurities, and it's really our own making. If you kind of start to look at that insecurity as that imperfection that makes you perfectly you, then it changes your perspective on the insecurity. It's your life, your rules, and find your way to really embrace that and run with it.
When I was younger, I used to get ridiculed in school, like I was too skinny, and I was taller than most of the boys when I was in elementary school and growing up. The bullies made me stronger. As an athlete, I think we push ourselves all the time. Every time I ask my body to do something, it responds. It just reminds me of how powerful I am, sometimes way more than I think.
I love my body because this is the best version of what my body type can look like.
It took me getting older that I was like, you know, I like how I am. I like having big legs. I like having wide shoulders. You know, I like those things now.
Every person in the world, no matter how perfect their body is perceived, is going to be body shamed. You have to mentally train how you feel about your body the same way you physically train for your sport.
We all have things that we love, and then we all have things that we don't. But I don't think that you should shame yourself for, you know, not having the perfect body, because no woman has the perfect body. A lot of women, they don't see in the mirror what they feel on the inside. So you can change that. We all have insecurities, no matter how beautiful we are. Just love yourself and be happy in the skin you're in.
My hope for making this video was to bring awareness to an issue that is still present today. It is important that people understand that the inequality between male and female athletes still at hand remains to have detrimental effects on women and needs to be overcome.